The morning sun cast a golden hue over the city skyline as the CEO of Hargrove Enterprises, Daniel Hargrove, sat in his corner office, staring blankly at the endless stream of emails flooding his screen. The world saw him as a man who had it all: wealth, power, success, respect. Yet beneath the tailored suits and million-dollar smile was a loneliness that money couldn't fix. His wife had passed away years ago, and since then, his 10-year-old daughter, Lily, had become his entire world. But Daniel was not the kind of father who attended school events or bedtime stories. He was the man who provided, not the man who was present. His guilt was hidden behind long meetings and international flights. Every evening, when Lily's small footsteps echoed through the vast marble halls of their mansion, the silence that followed was deafening. One Monday morning, Daniel received a call from Lily's school. The principal's calm voice informed him, "Mr. Hargrove, we're calling to confirm your attendance at the school play. Lily has one of the lead roles, and she's really looking forward to having you there." Daniel blinked. "School play? I wasn't informed about that." "Oh, she must have wanted to surprise you," the principal replied cheerfully. "It's this Friday evening." That night, when Daniel returned home late, he found Lily asleep on the couch, clutching a script. The title read "The Family Tree." He gently lifted her in his arms and carried her to bed. As he tucked her in, she murmured in her sleep, "Mom, are you coming?" The words pierced him like a knife. He hadn't heard Lily say that name in years. The next morning, Lily seemed unusually quiet. Over breakfast, Daniel tried to break the silence. "So, big play coming up." Lily looked down at her cereal and nodded. "Yeah, what's it about?" he asked. "It's about families. Everyone has to bring a parent to play a role." Her voice trembled slightly. I asked Mrs. Grant if you could come, but she said you might be too busy." Daniel felt a sting of shame. "I'll be there, Lily. I promise." Her eyes widened in disbelief. "Really, you'll come?" He smiled. "I wouldn't miss it for the world." But even as he said the words, his phone buzzed with reminders, board meetings, investor calls, and a charity gala scheduled the same night. His assistant had already prepared a speech for him. By Thursday, Daniel's week had spiraled into chaos. Every hour was consumed by business. He tried to find a replacement speaker for the gala but failed. Still, he couldn't bring himself to break his promise. On Friday afternoon, Lily stood backstage, dressed in a simple white dress, nervously clutching her script. Around her, other kids laughed and hugged their parents. Her best friend, Mia, smiled as her mom helped adjust her costume. But Lily stood alone. The school bell rang once, twice, and then the announcement echoed through the hallway, "The play begins in 10 minutes." Lily looked at the door every few seconds, her eyes filled with hope. At that moment, the auditorium doors opened, but it wasn't Daniel who walked in. It was a woman, mid-30s, in a nurse's uniform, her hair tied back, eyes tired but kind. She looked around, confused, clutching a small bouquet of flowers. Her name was Rachel. She was the school nurse, and one of the few adults who noticed how lonely Lily was. When she saw Lily standing alone, she walked over. "Hey, sweetheart," she said softly. "You look beautiful." Lily's lip quivered. "Thank you, Miss Rachel." She hesitated, then whispered something that broke Rachel's heart. "Ma'am, can you pretend to be my mom? Just for the play?" Rachel froze. "Pretend to be your mom?" Lily nodded quickly, her eyes glistening. "Please, just for tonight. Everyone else has a mom or dad on stage. I just don't want to be the only one without one." Rachel felt a lump form in her throat. She glanced at the audience filling the hall, smiling parents, flashing cameras, excited chatter. Then she looked at the little girl who had no one waiting for her. She knelt down and said gently, "Of course, sweetheart. I'd be honored." When the curtain rose, the stage glowed under soft yellow lights. Lily and Rachel stepped forward, hand in hand. Their scene was about a mother and daughter planting a tree together, symbolizing family and love that grows despite storms. As Lily delivered her lines, Rachel could see how much emotion the little girl poured into every word. It didn't feel like acting, it felt real. When it came time for the final line, Lily looked up at Rachel and whispered the words that were both scripted and heartbreakingly true. "No matter where you are, I'll always love you, Mom." The audience erupted in applause, but Rachel could barely hold back tears. After the play, as the crowd dispersed, Rachel and Lily shared a quiet moment backstage. "You did amazing," Rachel said, brushing a strand of hair from Lily's face. "Thank you for being my mom tonight," Lily whispered. "It felt nice." Rachel smiled warmly. Anytime, sweet girl. Just then, a deep voice echoed from the back of the hall. Lily. Lily turned around. Daniel stood there, out of breath, still in his suit, tie loosened, guilt written all over his face. He had missed the entire play. Lily's smile faded. You didn't come. I tried, sweetheart, he said, his voice cracking. The meeting ran late, and the traffic. But Lily shook her head. You always have meetings, Dad. Daniel looked down, his heart heavy. He turned to Rachel. You must be Miss Grant. Rachel shook her head softly. I'm Rachel, the school nurse. Lily asked me to fill in. Daniel looked at her with surprise and gratitude. Thank you, for doing what I should have been here to do. Rachel nodded. She just needed someone to hold her hand for a little while. That night, Daniel drove home in silence. Lily sat quietly in the back seat, staring out the window. When they got home, she walked upstairs without a word. Daniel sat in the living room, staring at the play program. Her name was printed right there. Lily Hargrove, the daughter. Under parent role, there was only a blank line. He closed his eyes, feeling a deep ache. After a long moment, he walked upstairs and knocked on Lily's door. May I come in? No answer. He slowly opened the door. Lily was sitting on her bed, her costume still on, the small bouquet from Rachel beside her. I'm sorry, he said quietly. I let you down again. Lily didn't look at him. It's okay, Dad. Miss Rachel was there. Her words, though innocent, hit him harder than any insult. He knelt beside her. Sweetheart, I don't want anyone else to have to be there for you. I want to be there. From now on, I will be. Lily looked at him for a long moment, then finally whispered, Promise. Daniel smiled through tears. Promise. The next day, he went to the school and found Rachel in the nurse's office. I wanted to thank you, he said sincerely. You did something I'll never forget. Rachel smiled. It was nothing. She's a wonderful kid. She just misses having her mom, and her dad. Her gentle honesty humbled him. I want to change that, he said. If you ever have time, maybe you could join us for dinner. As a thank you. Rachel hesitated, then smiled. I'd like that. Weeks passed. Daniel began leaving the office early, helping Lily with homework, attending every event. The once cold mansion now echoed with laughter and warmth. And one evening, as they sat together watching a movie, Lily leaned against her father's shoulder and whispered, Dad. Yes, sweetheart, I told Miss Rachel that if she ever wanted to be my mom for real, I'd be okay with that. Daniel froze, then chuckled softly, kissing the top of her head. We'll see about that. For the first time in years, he didn't feel lonely. Because that little girl, and the kind woman who stepped in when he couldn't, had reminded him what love truly meant. It wasn't about grand gestures or perfect timing. It was about being there when it mattered most. And from that day on, Daniel made sure his daughter would never again have to ask anyone to pretend to be her mom, because together, they had finally become a family again.